I'm Loretta, and this is Premier Drive here on Premier Christian Radio, and my guest today joins me on the line from Louisiana in the US. He's the author of 2 biblical thriller novels. Van Mayhall, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Loretta. Glad to be here.
Now, I have to start with this because it straight away intrigued me, but you've been called the Christian Dan Brown, though he's been rather unpopular with some Christians. How similar are you?
Well, as I said in a recent article, I actually enjoy Dan Brown's books, so I am not the anti-Dan Brown. I sort of view myself as the un-Dan Brown, which means to me that he writes with one point of view and I write with another. My books are about faith, they're about family, they have rich biblical history involved in them, and it's the faith of the characters that carry them through some very, very difficult times and allow them to prevail. He has just a different idea about what he writes about.
I guess where the similarities are with the element of mystery and clue finding and mystery solving, what's inspired you to particularly write this kind of crime thriller?
Well, I did a faith journey a few years ago, and I read the Bible cover to cover, and I got to the 26th chapter of Matthew at the Last Supper, where Jesus says, "Better for the man who betrays me that he should never have been born." And I got to thinking about that, and I thought, well, what would have happened if Judas had never been born? How would the salvation story have played out? Would it have been someone else or in some other manner? And of course, that's a loop. It's a logical loop. There's no real answer to it. But it got me thinking about the Judas figure in the story, and I did a lot of research on him, and I decided to write a novel around that research. The novel centered on a 2,000-year-old oil jar in which the central characters find something fantastic. So that's how it got started.
And of course, it has to be an element of drama and fiction that makes it such a roller coaster faith and mystery ride. But how important is it to be biblically accurate? I mean, what about artistic license for the sake of entertainment?
Well, the biblical pieces of my novels are as accurate as I possibly can make them, because I wanted people to be able to pick up their Bible and check out. You know, if I said something about Judas, or if I said something about Calvary, or if I said something about, in the second book, Masada, I wanted people to be able to open the Bible, check it out, and say, "Yep, that's what it says." It's a very interesting point of view on it. But you know, there are all the characters in it are fictional, and so I have a lot of license with the characters. The places are all real. The Church of St. John in Lyon, France, the Louisiana venues, Jerusalem, obviously, Hekeldama, the Field of Blood, all real and fascinating places. So the places are real, the biblical history is real, the characters make up the excitement and the fiction.
The central character, Chloe, rediscovers her faith in the process of the mystery. Is this a book that you hope will get non-Christians thinking and asking questions?
I hope it'll get Christians and non-Christians thinking, because faith plays a huge role in our daily lives, and anything that you could do to help people think about that, I would think would have to be good. And Chloe is a very smart woman, very intelligent. She's flawed, like many people are. She has a terrible fight with her father. It leads to a 25-year absence from her life of her father, and he actually is murdered in his home before they can reconcile. So she goes back to bury him along with her son, who's a U.S. military intelligence officer, and she makes that journey back. It's a figurative and a physical journey as well. She recovers her faith, she recovers her roots, she recovers her home state, and finds herself in the middle of a 2,000-year-old mystery.
Now, I was fascinated to find that as well as being an author, you're a senior partner in a law firm. How has your experience in the legal world influenced your writing and plot lines and fascination with clue finding and mystery solving?
Well, what I do in my legal practice is to solve problems. Clients come in, they have a problem, they really don't know what's relevant, what to do about it, how to fix it. So that's what we do. In the books, there's a problem, and there's a goal, and so there are clues that are presented. In the last Sicarius, there's some rather ingenious biblical clues in there that I think your readers will enjoy, and maybe be challenged to figure out. So it's at some level it's problem solving, but it's a good entertaining read as well. Most of my readers tell me that once they pick it up, they can't put it down. So it's very gratifying.
That's certainly a good sign of a good novel, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, you seem quite happy to pose difficult questions for Christians. How important do you think it is for Christians to explore faith and its deeper, less straightforward questions?
Oh, I think it's extremely important. I think questioning, reading about your faith, involving yourself in Scripture. As a cradle Catholic, we didn't really get much Scripture. But this has led me to read Scripture myself, read commentary about Scripture, ask questions, because I am confident that the Christian church, the consistency always prevails. Yes, there are questions. People may have doubts from time to time, but look for the consistencies. That will be very comforting to people of faith.
And do you think that fiction is a particularly good medium for seekers to explore faith? And if so, why?
Well, I do, because I think some of the commentary can be quite dry. It can be interesting, but at some level, they're scholarly books and can be a little dry. I think if you can wrap biblical history and challenging questions in a novel that's also entertaining, I think you have the potential for more readers, and therefore more people thinking, talking about, and reading about their faith.
So there's 2 novels so far, Judas the Apostle and The Last Sicarius. Any plans to make it a trilogy?
Actually, the 3rd book, which is tentatively titled Suppose, ... has got about it's about 3/4 finished. It's a 2015 novel. Same 3 principal characters. That's what I've carried through. Chloe, J.E., and the Monsignor are all constant characters in each of the books. But again, with this book, we have some new interesting characters, including a canine point of view character.
Wow! Look forward to hearing that.
Yeah, I think the readers will enjoy that.
So you've experienced success on both sides of the Atlantic. Any plans for a trip to the UK?
Well, we'd certainly like to do that. I've never been there. My father spent 5 years over there during the big war, and came back with lots of stories. And so, yes, we'd like to retrace some of his steps, and maybe there'll be a novel set in England.
Brilliant stuff. Well, finally then, Van, tell us where people can find out more about the books and yourself, and where, of course, they can purchase them from.
Yeah, well, the books are on all the internet sellers. They're on Amazon. All you have to do is look for Van Mayhall, Mayhall, on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any of those kinds. Also, I do have a website, www.vanmayhalljr.com. Will direct you to various sellers. They're in many of the physical bookstores now, so they're widely available. They are available in hardback, softback, and electronic versions.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your works with us, and hopefully we'll see you in the UK sometime.
Great, Loretta, and thanks so much, and everybody have a great day over there.